I've been employed to bring you back, and that's just what I'm going to do, Mr. O'Reilly. Like it or not.
Have Gun Will Travel. Starring Mr. John Dehner as Paladin. San Francisco, 1875. The Carleton Hotel, headquarters of the man called Paladin.
Dancing girl missing. Soma Valley's Armenian colony today sadly canceled its annual wine festival because the principal dancer is reported to have eloped...
Mr. Paladin.
Quiet, here, boy.
Yes.
To have eloped with a passing cowboy. The girl's father, Samuel Abaginian, has offered...
Mr. Paladin, please...
$1,000 for her return. Local authorities point out that she is of age and they have no jurisdiction in the matter.
Fire!
Fire?
A joke. Ha. Yeah. Here, you cigars. I brought them.
Oh. Wait a minute, hey, boy. I want you to send this wire for me.
Oh, hey, you leave again already?
Mm-hmm. There. I haven't had a good shish kebab for years. Rice pilaf, baklava.
Baklava?
Armenian cooking.
Oh, yeah, baklava.
Now, after you send that, get me 2 seats for the Ballet Russe 2 weeks from tonight.
Oh, yes, sir, Mr. Paladin. You be back?
Oh, I'll be back. Better get that wire off right away.
Yes, sir, Mr. Paladin.
Even if you've had embarrassing dandruff for years, you can get rid of it now in 3 minutes. That's all it takes with Fitch Dandruff Remover Shampoo. Yes, unsightly dandruff's gone in 3 minutes with Fitch. Quickest, easiest of all leading shampoos. What's more, using Fitch regularly is guaranteed to keep embarrassing dandruff away. Just apply in the unique Fitch manner. Before you wet hair, rub in 1 minute. This way, Fitch shampoo penetrates right down to the scalp. Next, add water. Lather 1 minute to wash every trace of dandruff out of your hair. Then rinse 1 minute. All that loosened dandruff goes down the drain. In 3 minutes, with Fitch, 1 rubbing, 1 lathering, 1 rinsing, dandruff's gone. At the same time, gentle Fitch can leave your hair up to 35% brighter. To get rid of dandruff problems forever, brighten hair too, use Fitch regularly. Get Fitch Dandruff Remover Shampoo today, only 59 cents.
The sun was warm, the sky was clear, and the grapes were harvested. And all that was left was to press them in the vats and wait for them to become wine. An ancient vocation of an ancient, happy people. And their leader was a great giant of a man named Abaginian.
Stop that frightful music. It sours the grapes before they are crushed.
Husband, must we mourn forever? We have other daughters.
Coming to your ear, woman, is a blow for my fist. Do I produce daughters for every passing stranger? Do I beget children to populate foreign villages? Prepare me an answer.
Look, there's another one.
Huh? You. Out.
Good afternoon, Mr. Abaginian.
Out, I say, out.
Do we disregard hospitality?
Out.
My name is Paladin.
The name is of no importance. You're like the other one. A stranger carrying a weapon. You are... Paladin?
That's right.
Oh. Woman, where is our hospitality? I have his certificate. We have exchanged words on the telegraph. Move!
Now, what sort of man was this O'Reilly?
Oh, a despoiler of women. An infidel with evil in his heart.
Only a boy, scarcely in his 20s.
You have no acquaintance with the world, woman. This girl of ours, Paladin, even though she's a dancer to warm men's hearts, she's a lamb, a mouse.
An innocent mouse.
She was seen to kiss him the night before.
Next comes my fist to your ear. If our Helen was seen to kiss him, that was a matter of force. Paladin, have you ever seen a snake transfix a mouse with its eye? This O'Reilly, this is such a reptile. Dangerous. You can overtake them?
I think so.
Good. Both must come back. There must be a marriage.
A marriage?
Custom. They have been together 4 days and 4 nights.
Oh, of course. Now, what about the fee, Mr. Abyssinian?
Oh, I am a poor man, Paladin. A few acres of worthless vines. But I am generous. Although it ruins me for this simple task, I will pay you $200.
The price we discussed was $1,000.
Too much.
Well, since you say this O'Reilly is dangerous, now I must ask $2,000.
Oh, have no faith in my description. Oh, Paladin, I'm a poor farmer. On my knees each night I will send you my prayers for your entire life, my gratitude.
No.
$500, my last offer.
You have 1,000 acres, vines, sheep, goats, but for friendship, 1,500.
Paladin, have no faith in these stories of wealth. I have been living above my station. My prayers, the prayers of the entire colony, the thanks of a ruined man, and 800. And I'll have to sell my home and live in a tent to raise it.
What can I do? Such generosity. 1,200.
900. A diet of grape leaves the rest of my life.
1,000.
Done.
Good.
All right, seal the bargain. Watch ye, my friend. Drink of fire. Most men drink 1 swallow, perhaps 2, but Abyssinian, watch. Now. Now, you drink, huh?
Of course. Will you pour for me?
Enough?
No. Enough.
Here is a man. Go, friend, bring back my daughter.
Yes, of course. I followed their trail out of the Soma Valley and into the high rangelands. Along the way, I talked to a miner, a cowpuncher, a deputy sheriff. All of them remembered Helen Abyssinian quite well. Hardly anyone could tell me anything about her traveling companion, except that he wore chaps and boots and carried a gun. It was noon of the second day when I first caught sight of them. They were resting in the shade of a grove of cottonwood. I dismounted and walked toward them. They were so busy with their problems, they didn't notice.
Ma'am, I ain't going to ride my horse to death for you or no other woman.
You don't love me.
You're doggone right I don't. I told you that every foot of the last 100 miles. Now, ma'am, look. People just ain't going to believe you followed me.
But I cannot go home now. You have me compromised.
Now, that's a lie. I ain't laid a hand on you.
At my father's house, you kissed me.
Well, I was just funning.
There is something wrong with me?
Yeah, well...
I kiss badly?
Well, that's not...
I am ugly?
No, I didn't say that. Now, you just ain't my type at all. That's what it is. I don't like to be chased. It makes a man nervous.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, well, here now. Let me get you up. Doggone it!
You see, you kissed me again.
No, you kissed me. Now, you ought to be ashamed.
Ashamed? Is it so bad that I love you?
Well...
You let me dance for you and I'll change your mind.
No, ma'am. Ma'am, if you so much as move an elbow, I'm going to... How do, mister?
Miss Abyssinian?
Yes?
My name is Paladin. Your father employed me to bring you back.
Oh, man, am I glad to hear that.
Both of you, Mr. O'Reilly.
Well, what's your father want me for?
For a wedding.
To her?
To her.
Look, you don't want to take me back for that. Why, A man wants to feel comfortable with his woman. Now, man, just watching her walk makes me feel all edgy. Who wants to spend his life feeling like that?
How old are you?
Mister, you can talk till you're blue in the face. Guns or no guns, I still ain't going back with you, and I'm not going to marry her.
Well, maybe it's just as well. A really good girl wouldn't have ridden trail alone with you.
You take that back. She's as good as they come.
You seem pretty certain.
I am certain.
It sounds like you just might be in love with her.
You take that back, Joe.
Jimmy! Oh, Jimmy.
Don't worry about him, miss. He's all right. Anyway, he's going back with us.
Oh, Jimmy! Jimmy, open your eyes. Did you hear that, Jimmy? You're going back with us.
Yeah, okay. Okay. I'm going back. But just remember, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink.
Oh, Jimmy.
Doggone it anyway.
In the 1800s, the Monroe Doctrine dictated that Americans put a wall between themselves and the world. Today, however, times have changed. From city dweller to farmer, Americans know they are part of the world and close to it. And the more they can find out about it, the better. That's why the broadcasts of Edward R. Murrow and Lowell Thomas are so popular. Each of these internationally known newsmen has a wide background in the history, the politics, the economics on which current events are built. Whether you're interested in high-level affairs of state abroad, economic developments here at home, or the latest advances of science, you'll find them presented clearly and understandably by Murrow and Thomas, with the touch of wit or human interest that has won them listeners everywhere in the world. If you're not already addicted to the news, as CBS Radio presents it nightly, start this week to follow the broadcasts of Edward R. Murrow and Lowell Thomas. They're both heard Monday through Friday on most of these same CBS stations.
The trip back to the Soma Valley was uneventful. The happy bride chatted all the way, and the reluctant groom grew more surly and silent as the Abyssinian vineyards came into sight. Once there, the father-in-law-to-be ordered immediate preparations for the wedding. Aside from 100 people scurrying to gather the best foods and wines and music, these orders also included the business of washing up for all.
When a man has been 7 days and nights with a beautiful woman and says that he did not touch her, then you are listening to a liar or a fool. Oh, that's nice.
Oh, so now I'm a fool, huh? That's all the thanks I get for being a gentleman.
Now you. Get in the tub, off with the clothes, scrap.
Wait. I ain't going to take no bath, and I ain't taking off my clothes.
Better do it, Jimmy.
What? Well, okay. These people ain't got no right to pull off my clothes and dunk me in here.
Even a barbarian bathes for his own marriage.
And I told you, I'm just marrying her to protect her reputation. That's all. That's all. You can lead a horse to water.
Into the tub.
Hey, so don't pour that water on me now. That's the first time I ever took a bath in the middle of the week.
There is a woman at the beginning of all great things.
Woman.
Heaven's best gift. The most delightful of God's creatures.
Can I have a towel?
Are you clean?
Yeah, cleaner than a new laid egg.
Then here is a towel.
Yeah.
Now, it's getting time for the business of the wedding. Here.
Hey, don't pour that on me.
Oil for fragrance. Rub this into your skin. It's very pleasant.
Oh, I won't do no such thing. Oh, that smells sweet enough to catch flies.
It's customary, O'Reilly.
Well, ain't I got a right to have customs, too?
Rub it in good.
You know something, O'Reilly? You make quite a picture.
You what? Oh, doggone it.
Shish kebab. It's not often a man sits at a table like this. Rice pilaf, keskek, kebakl. O'Reilly? Here, you ought to try some.
No.
Oh.
This time I was moving along. I went through getting married, didn't I?
Mm-hmm, you did. But a smart man doesn't ride off at night hungry.
Yeah, well, I tell you, I ain't staying now. I done my part.
No one's keeping you. Goodbye.
Yeah.
What's the matter?
Doggone it. I can't run off without saying goodbye to the girl, can I? I mean, after all, I just married her.
Oh, it's just a formality. It's like you said, you can lead a horse to water. Mm-hmm. Well, goodbye, O'Reilly.
Now, how come all of a sudden you want me to leave, huh? Why's that?
Well, you don't seem to care about the girl. Maybe it's just as well you don't wait and see her dance.
Doggone it. She can just dance her fool head off. I'll be too busy eating. I'll just be too busy to notice. What is this foreign stuff here?
I don't know. Mighty good, though. Here, try this.
Yeah, thanks.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, you really got some good cooks around here.
Mm-hmm. You know something, O'Reilly? Bride always supervises the preparation of the wedding foods.
She does?
She does. It's customary.
Is that fact?
Mm-hmm.
Well, now, you know, just because they don't do things like my people. You see, I got me 4 brothers. Well, that don't mean they ain't real down-to-earth folks now, does it?
You sound like you're beginning to grow up.
Yeah. Well, I'm as growed up as the next man. Just because that little Abginian gal gets me. I mean, well, doggone it. Women don't chase men.
I'm not too sure.
What I mean is, a man don't want a wife that chases him. Well, as Helen... Man, if I live with her, Look, Mr. Paladin. Just watching her makes me nervous.
That's so?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I mean, my stomach flops around, my knees shake. Well, doggone it, she makes me feel downright miserable. A man wants to feel kind of calm, comfortable with a woman, don't he?
I think they're getting ready for her dance now.
Yeah, well, I guess I ought to be moseying along.
O'Reilly, you know, ancient Armenia was at the crossroads of the world. The origins of her dances are lost in antiquity, a flavor of ancient Greece, Persia, perhaps even Minoa. Such dances, O'Reilly, are a language, the most understandable, universal, compelling language of mankind.
Yeah, well, maybe so, Paladin, but I'm just...
And there's your bride. She's dancing for you.
I'll be done. Well, she's kind of... What's that she's wearing?
A veil from Persia. Leaving, Mr. O'Reilly?
Oh, Mr. Paladin, that's my wife.
Do you see speed laws and other regulations as restrictive, or do you look upon them as protective? When a police officer writes a summons for traffic violations, do you see him as an enemy or a friend? Your life may depend on your attitudes. Statistics clearly indicate that where laws are obeyed, deaths go down. It's no secret that emotional immaturity is the major factor in our accident rate. How else but childish can you describe the notion that breaking a traffic regulation is a way of getting away with something? Unfortunately, too many drivers on the road subscribe to that kind of emotional outlook. The result is tragic. Almost 85% of all traffic accidents in America are caused by careless, childish driving. We hope you know our traffic laws and the people who enforce them are there to help save your life.
The happy bride and the no longer reluctant groom disappeared from the festivities. Custom. It was also custom for the festivities to continue. The singing, the dancing, the eating. I continued with them. But there came a time when it was time to settle the business at hand.
You say what?
Dowry.
Dowry?
All right?
Listen to him. Listen to him, my people. Now, I am a liberal man if he wishes to live with my daughter. But you're mad if you think that Abba
No dowry, no son-in-law.
Oh.
Your own custom, Virginia.
I spit on custom. You think I would pay so much as a single goat to mix his blood with mine?
You offer to let your daughter carry to marriage her bedding and clothing. Such generosity should be written on the side of Mount Ararat for all to see.
All right, perhaps I could spare a goat for milk.
A goat for milk. Oh, you can spare a goat for milk. Beside Abaginian, the poorest Arab in a mud hut is a caliph who dispenses gifts of amber and silver.
No.
Beside Abaginian, a serpent becomes an animal of great stature and dignity, and a toad becomes an animal of great beauty.
Perhaps I can afford an acre of vines. I'm a poor man.
An acre of vines. Now, did you hear that? An acre of vines. Come. Let us circulate the news of such generosity. A messenger to the old country. A runner to the next town.
All right. 5 acres of vines and 2 of 3.
Nope. 10 and 5.
No.
10 and 5 with a house.
No.
50 sheep.
Oh, no.
Yes, 10 goats.
No.
6 carrying milk.
All right, agreed, Paladin. Stop there. You ruin an old man. I hope that boy's running his blood.
His parents had 5 sons.
5? Well, a busy day, Mr. Paladin, but perhaps not a bad one. 5, you say?
He told me so himself.
Then perhaps a grandson, huh? A glass of ochi for luck?
I'd be delighted, Mr. Abaginian. Hey, boy.
Oh, Mr. Paladin, how happy to see you.
Did you get me the tickets to the Ballet Russe?
Hey, boy, did not forget. Here.
Oh, that's fine, hey, boy. I'll just...
Oh, I am so sorry. So clumsy of me. I knocked your tickets away.
Perfectly all right.
Oh, those are our ballet tickets.
Oh, you're with the Ballet Russe?
You will see me dance, then. You enjoy the ballet, Mr.
Paladin, madame. As a matter of fact, I do. I saw your company in Paris last year.
So?
And I'm just returning from a visit where I saw the Armenian wine dance, beautifully performed.
Oh, yes, I have heard of that dance. Mm-hmm. I should enjoy attempting it someday, but where is there such a teacher? Why do you look at me so?
Doggone.
What?
In my imagination, I pictured you performing that dance, Madame...
Petchevna.
May I offer you a cognac?
Delighted.
Have Gun, Will Travel. Created by Herb Meadow and Sam Rolfe, is produced and directed by Norman MacDonald, and stars John Dehner as Paladin, with Ben Wright as Hayboy. Tonight's story was written by Gene Roddenberry and adapted for radio by John Dawson. Featured in the cast were Lawrence Dobkin, Dick Crenna, Lillian Bayeth, Virginia Christine, and Lynn Allen. Hugh Douglas speaking. Join us again next week for Have Gun, Will Travel.
Your guide would cut your throat for $10. And even if he didn't, you'd be shot by bandits or scalped by Indians. My gun is your safe passage. You're going to need it.
Have Gun, Will Travel. Starring Mr. John Dehner as Paladin. San Francisco, 1875. The Carleton Hotel, headquarters of the man called Paladin.
You know, hey, boy, I'm bored this afternoon. Too much of the same thing.
Oh, you saw Mr. Paladin.
If only something different would happen.
I say, Porter. Oh, something different, Mr. Paladin. Which is the way to Fleetown, Montana?
Fleetown?
Yes.
Perhaps I might help. My name is Paladin.
Why, thank you, sir. I'm James Brunswick.
Hey, boy, bring Mr. Brunswick some brandy.
No, you're very kind, but I can't tarry. You see, my father, the 8th Earl of Aylesbury, invested money in this ranch in Montana, and now that my brother's dead, his share was left to me.
And you're going there to take possession?
Precisely, yes. My interest is half. The rest is owned by a 5th cousin, a Miss Felicia Carson. Yet I must make arrangements to get there quickly. A lone woman attempting to run a large ranch. Well, you understand.
Yes, of course. I imagine she'll be pleased to have a man's help.
Oh, quite. Yes. Well, I'll hop a train, and I'll just pop in on her in a day or two.
3 weeks will be closer to the truth.
Oh?
The train will drop you about 200 miles from Fleetown. From there on, it's horseback over the mountains.
Oh. Well, then in that case, I might do a bit of hunting. I shall hire a guide.
And he'll cut your throat for your money.
Good gracious.
No, you couldn't do it alone. You get lost, shot by bandits, or scalped.
Well, it's rather awkward. What's the solution?
This.
Have gun will travel. Oh, I say. The gun, is it necessary?
Not always. But sometimes it's mighty useful.
If dandruff dulls your hair, leaves your scalp itchy, please listen. You can get rid of annoying dandruff so fast today, no one should suffer any longer. With Fitch Dandruff Remover Shampoo, unsightly dandruff's gone in 3 minutes. It's the quickest, easiest of all leading shampoos. Besides that, using Fitch regularly is guaranteed to keep embarrassing dandruff away. Simply apply in the unique Fitch manner. Before you wet hair, rub in 1 minute. This way, Fitch shampoo penetrates right down to the scalp. Next, add water. Lather 1 minute to wash every trace of dandruff out of your hair. Then rinse 1 minute. All that loosened dandruff goes down the drain. In 3 minutes with Fitch, 1 rubbing, 1 lathering, 1 rinsing, dandruff's gone. And while removing dandruff, Fitch can also brighten hair up to 35%. To get rid of dandruff problems forever, brighten hair too, use Fitch regularly. Get Fitch Dandruff Remover Shampoo today, only 59 cents.
James Brunswick, 9th Earl of Aylesbury, endured the 3-week ride over the mountains with the help of an English saddle, a sun helmet, and 2 pack horses carrying his trunks and carpet bags. He marveled at the size, the coldness, the expanse, and the beauty of the land. There were some Indians lounging around the general store when we rode into Fleetown. They stared at him fascinated. He stared back, fascinated. We dismounted and walked up the steps.
This is Fleetown, mister. You looking for someone special?
Yes. Miss Felicia Carson. Perhaps you can direct us to the King's Arms Ranch, sir?
I'll be danged. Miss Carson?
What is it, Waddy?
Ma'am, I think your cousin from England just got here.
What? You James Brunswick?
Yes, that's right.
Oh. Well, I reckon you're my kinfolk.
Oh, my goodness, Cousin Felicia. Why, this is delightful.
Well, I reckon. I'm pleased to meet you.
I'm delighted. This is my friend, Mr. Paladin.
A pleasure, Miss Carson.
The same. This here's Waddy, my foreman.
Howdy.
You go see if them horses is shod yet, Waddy.
Yes, ma'am.
Who is Crazy Clothes?
I beg your pardon.
Crazy Clothes.
Harry, you go on about your business. Quit standing around and staring. And take your braves with you.
Go on now. Go on.
Crazy clothes.
I say, Cousin Felicia, those are savages.
No, them's Harry Blackfoot, Little Horse, and a few of the boys from across the road is all.
James was disappointed that we didn't see any Indians on the trail.
Ah, good thing, too. The only braves you'd run into up there'd be a war party taking scalps. Oh, Harry and them a lot more peaceable. They ain't smeared war paint in years.
War paint? Taking scalps? By Jove, it's all true, then, just as I've read.
Makes good reading, but it's nothing you'd care to see.
No, I expect not.
Well. So this is your cousin all the way from England, huh?
Now, look, NG, let's not have
Now,
any...
wait a minute. You the one who shot that poor little bear cub on that pack horse?
I shot him, sir, but he's scarcely a cub.
Listen to him, boy. Why, mister, you just ain't acquainted with the Montana breed of bear. Full grown, they're as big as this house.
Really? Well, I never heard of any animal that large.
I've only been in on the kill of one full-size Montana bear myself. I was with the Army. Took a 10-pound shot to bring him down.
How extraordinary.
And you know what we found when we peeled the hide off him?
No, what?
Why, bear skin, you blame fool.
Well, I must say the joke is on me, what?
Yeah, it sure is. What a dude. Come on, let's get up. You tripped me.
How's the water in the horse trough?
I guess that's a horse on you, Andy.
You think that's funny, do you?
You must admit a man swimming in a horse trough looks pretty foolish.
Not as foolish as you will with your jaw busted.
Seems like NG finally bit on one himself, and he don't like the sour taste.
You're kind of handy with your practical jokes, mister.
Next time, it might be better to let a man become acquainted with the local customs before you try to make a fool of him.
In the 1800s, the Monroe Doctrine dictated that Americans put a wall between themselves and the world. Today, however, times have changed. From city dweller to farmer, Americans know they are part of the world and close to it. And the more they can find out about it, the better. That's why the broadcasts of Edward R. Murrow and Lowell Thomas are so popular. Each of these internationally known newsmen has a wide background in the history, the politics, the economics on which current events are built. Whether you're interested in high-level affairs of state abroad, economic developments here at home, or the latest advances of science, you'll find them presented clearly and understandably by Murrow and Thomas, with the touch of wit or human interest that has won them listeners everywhere in the world. If you're not already addicted to the news, as CBS Radio presents it nightly, start this week to follow the broadcasts of Edward R. Murrow and Lowell Thomas. They're both heard Monday through Friday on most of these same CBS stations.
James Brunswick, 9th Earl of Aylesbury, changed to knickers once we got to the ranch. After tea and a pipe, he picked up his riding crop and announced it was time to look things over. Felicia Carson reckoned it was time. I tagged along. We made a circuit of the main ranch buildings and ended up sometime around dusk back at the corrals.
Well, that's the works, Jamie. These buildings, 6,000 head of cattle and 12,000 acres of land.
It's immense, absolutely immense. And you've been looking after all this alone. You know, you're an amazing woman, Felicia.
Had to be done.
Well, now that I'm here, I intend to take this burden off your shoulders. You just sit back and be the lady of the manor, huh?
Well, thanks, Jamie, but for a while, you just sort of take it easy and don't strain yourself none. I'm going up to the house. Supper's in a half an hour.
What? Well, I'm afraid that she doesn't take me very seriously, Paladin.
Yeah, that'll change. Right now, you're sort of unusual to
her. To everyone. You know, I've been thinking about N.G. and his little joke this morning. I was being tested, wasn't I?
Yeah. And they think that a man who can be tricked is a fool. See, around here they figure there are two kinds of no good people, cowards and fools. In a rough situation, the coward will run out on you, and the fool might make a fatal mistake.
And I showed myself up to be a fool.
No. But you showed you've got a lot to learn. Let's say you've lost face. You don't quite fit in yet.
How does one go about fitting in, Paladin?
Well, here. This is your saddle. English. Made for riding. Nothing else, right?
Well, what else is there?
Well, look at the saddle of mine. The Western saddle.
But yeah, it's a cumbersome, heavy sort of thing.
Maybe, but there's a reason for everything. See the horn here? The tie post when roping cattle, and elbow rest for a man in the saddle all day.
I see.
And the height and the slope of the cattle here. See that? I figure to give a man the most comfort and the best brace through a day's work. The rigging, the cinch, the stirrup leathers are all designed to contribute something useful. There isn't a piece of leather on this saddle that isn't needed.
Well, I must confess, I thought it was an unwieldy piece of business.
No, nothing on the frontier is without a definite purpose. No individual is without a definite purpose either. Survival's too difficult. Everything and everyone must contribute something, and you'll just have to find the thing that you have to contribute.
I say, Paladin, look. Yeah, but they're attacking us.
They shouldn't be hostile here. They're showing themselves too openly. Oh, no. You see, they're firing in the air. Hey, they put down that rifle.
Well, why did you knock the rifle?
Shut up, you hit him. Come on.
Well, it looks like... Well, that's the one, Harry Blackfoot.
All right, now, hold still, Harry. Let me see.
Why, crazy
Now, you just take it easy now.
Of all the fool tricks, screaming like a bunch of medicine show squaws. It serves you right, Harry.
Hey, can I help?
NG say it was a joke. Everybody have fun. NG say.
High in the chest. It's a bad one.
You do this, Englishman?
I'm sorry. I didn't know it was a joke.
Take him to the house.
No, we take care of our chief.
I can't tell you how sorry I am.
Why couldn't you wait and find out what it was about before you... Oh, never mind. We'll go into town in the morning. Maybe they'll listen to reason. We ain't had no Indian trouble here in years until you come along, you dang fool.
She put that kind of strong.
What was that you said about a fool? A fool that makes fatal mistakes?
Toward greater victories, the March of Dimes is again asking your help to wipe out the deadly cripplers of thousands of children and adults. Not only polio, but arthritis and birth defects. Did you know that 1 out of every 7 persons in the United States will suffer from arthritis, an exceedingly painful disease for which no cure has yet been found, and that it menaces our youngsters as well as older people? And did you know that 1 out of every 16 babies born this year will have a birth defect? You have helped the March of Dimes fight polio and emerge the winner in the battle. And now your 1959 contribution to the March of Dimes can help win the battle with these other awful cripplers. We did it before, and with your help, we can do it again. Send your gift of money to your local March of Dimes headquarters. Send it tonight.
There was tension in Fleetown after Harry Blackfoot was shot. No one knew what the Indians might do about it. They had him holed up in an old barn, feeding him whiskey and working on his wounds. At least that was the news we got.
When are you figuring to leave, Paladin?
Tomorrow.
Take him back with you for his own good. How long do you think he'd last out here before somebody blows his head off?
You could learn if you'd help him.
I'm running a ranch, not a school. No, it isn't as if I don't like Jamie.
Well, then don't send him away. This ranch would give him a purpose in life. You need him.
To shoot Indians?
Would it be better if he'd run away and hid?
Well, he should have used his head before he used that rifle.
He reacted the way any man would. He was attacked, picked up the rifle, and defended himself.
Good morning. I'm sorry to have kept you waiting.
Morning.
Now, when we get to town, Jamie, you let me do the talking. The Indians are probably cooled down by now.
If Harry Blackfoot is all right.
NG started this, and it's up to him to stop it. Now, James, I just want you to show up and stand there, like you got nothing to be ashamed of.
Yes, of course.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Paladin, I'd appreciate it if you would stay here until we clear up this matter, and then I'd like to return to San Francisco with you.
If that's what you want.
Well, I believe it would be best for everyone. There he is, propped up against the log under the tree.
Harry Blackfoot seems to be recovering very well.
He's drunk. They're all drunk. Look at that barrel of whiskey. Bet they got it from NG.
We better get NG before we try talking to Harry. Now, you can't stay out here alone, James. Come with us.
Well, I'd like to apologize to that fellow.
No, not right now. Oh, there you are, you blasted troublemaker. You got the engines all stewed up, the blame fool.
Don't you try to squirm out of this, putting all the blame on Jamie.
Well, I didn't have anything.
NG, you're going out with us now and tell Harry Blackfoot exactly why all this is your fault.
My fault?
I don't have to explain that to you, NG.
Them engines is in no mood to listen to reason now. They'd kill me.
If you don't go out there, I'll kill you.
Send out Crazy Clothes.
Where's my rifle?
You kill any one of them, and word will spread to every Indian in the section. And every one of them will be wearing paint in 24 hours.
You get out there and tell them to stop it.
I can't stop them. They want the Englishman.
He's right.
Where do you think you're going?
Out there. There's little choice, is there?
You can't go out there, Jamie.
Well, I can't endanger your life or be the cause of an uprising.
Stop him.
If he can get across the street, maybe he can get to Harry.
Paladin, why didn't you stop him?
Sometimes a man has things to prove to himself.
It's a rundown. They're going to swipe him down and trample him.
Oh, no. He's getting up. Here comes another one.
No man can take that kind of punishment.
Oh, no. He's getting up again.
He's trying to get to Harry Blackfoot. I'm going out there. Wait here.
They'll kill you too, Paladin, if you interfere.
Harry. Call him off, Harry.
No. Braves teach lesson.
We could have shot your braves by now, but that would have made a war. He's had his lesson. He's been hurt enough.
Crazy clothes on his feet.
Listen to me, Harry. Only a few may wear clothes like that. It is a proud uniform from a far-off land. Only brave and honorable men wear that uniform. The clothes are the sign of a great and wise leader, a man of strength, a man like yourself. You see how he behaves?
Enough! I feel I owe you an apology, old man. I'm really dreadfully sorry, you know. Inexcusable.
You're right. He brave man.
Feeling better, Jamie?
Oh, much, thank you, yes. Fortunate the store carried my size in stock. How do you like me? Do I look like a rancher? Paladin?
I guess you do at that. Wow. Come on in, Harry.
Where'd he get your clothes?
He requested them.
Only brave and honorable men wear this uniform. Great and wise leaders?
That's right, Harry.
Me and that one, Englishman. No one else?
No one else.
Good.
Well, he seems quite happy. Now, Paladin, shall we return to the ranch and pack?
Oh, you're not going to run out and leave me now, Jamie. You can't do that to me. I'm just a mere little old woman. That ranch needs a man.
Oh, thank you for the offer, Felicia, but really, I'm afraid there's so little that I have to contribute out here.
Except courage.
Oh, come now, Paladin. I mean, one doesn't talk about that sort of thing.
Mr. Paladin, you're traveling back to San Francisco alone.
Well, if you insist, I stay.
One favor before I leave, James.
Oh, yes, of course.
I'd like the address of your tailor in London.
If I sent him my measurements, perhaps he could make me a brave and honorable chief.
Oh, you buck me, Sir Paladin. But where is man from the bowler hat?
He's ranching in Montana.
Oh, him? Montana?
Oh, he changed clothes.
Well, but...
Excuse me, please. Can either of you tell me the way to Henrysville, Oregon?
Oh, sure. Best is to go to a street at the end of town there.
Oregon and Henrysville are a long ways off.
Oh.
And difficult to get to.
Oh, but you see, I really must get to Henrysville. A cousin of mine, a rancher, died. And it's my duty to take over the management of the ranch.
Oh, boy.
And you've just arrived from England and you're in a hurry.
Well, yes, that's quite correct, as a matter of fact.
My name is Paladin. May I offer you my service?
Would you have garden, will travel? What kind of service?
Sit down, please. Hey, boy. A glass of sherry for Miss...
Worthshire. Lady Angela Worthshire.
For Lady Angela. And hurry.
Oh, Esau, I'll get sherry right away. Oh, Lady Angela. Oh, boy. Tally ho, Mr. Paladin.
Now, Lady Angela, I think I should tell you...
Must you hold my hand?
It's an American custom. You must accustom yourself to American customs.
Oh. Well, now the service you spoke of.
It begins tonight at 8 o'clock. A dinner at Fabre's, then a glass of sparkling wine at the Porter, and then a tour of San Francisco. You must see the points of interest before you leave.
I feel I'm already indulging myself in something interesting.
Lady Angela, I know I can assist you.
Do you know something, Mr. Paladin? I'm quite certain you can.
Have gun. Will travel. Created by Herb Meadow and Sam Rolfe, he is produced and directed by Norman MacDonald and stars John Dehner as Paladin, with Ben Wright as Hayboy. Tonight's story was written by Sam Rolfe and adapted for radio by John Dawson. Featured in the cast were Virginia Christine, Ralph Moody, Gene Bates, Barney Phillips, James Nusser, and Harry Bartell. Hugh Douglas speaking. Have Gun Will Travel salutes station KRMG, Tulsa, Oklahoma, which became CBS Radio's newest affiliate on Monday, January 5th. KRMG covers 93 counties and reaches about 1 million families in the Southwest and operates on 50,000 watts daytime and 25,000 nighttime. Join us again next week for Have Gun Will Travel.
My gun was handcrafted to my specifications. I rarely draw it, unless I mean to use it.
Have Gun Will Travel. Starring Mr. John Dehner as Paladin. San Francisco, 1875. The Carleton Hotel, headquarters of a man called Paladin.
Oh, good evening, Mr. Paladin.
Good evening, George. My key, please.
Yes, sir, Mr. Paladin.
Good evening, Mr. Paladin.
Good evening, my dear. How nice to see you.
Is it?
Of course.
Haven't you been avoiding me lately?
No, not at all. I've been out of town.
Mr. Paladin! Mr. Paladin!
Over here, hey, boy. You'll pardon me, my dear, but wait for me in the lounge.
Well, if you don't take too long.
I won't. Hello, hey, boy.
Oh, yes, sir, Mr. Paladin. I look for you. I get you papers from all places in West, like always.
Fine. Put them in my room. I'll be up later. Right now, there's a young
I
lady.
think something you want to see in this journal from New Mexico. I mark. Here. You read.
Huh.
Yeah, it looked like they need Mr. Paladin and his gun, eh?
Yes, maybe so, hey, boy. Get me pen and paper.
Oh, yes, sir. Right away. Good, good, good. You send cards, say, have gun, will travel.
Dandruff bothers most men, most women, too. So listen. Today you can get rid of embarrassing dandruff in just 3 minutes. Yes, with Fitch Dandruff Remover Shampoo. Unsightly dandruff's gone in 3 minutes. It's the quickest, easiest of all leading shampoos. That's not all. Using Fitch regularly is guaranteed to keep embarrassing dandruff away. Simply apply in the unique Fitch manner. Before you wet hair, rub in 1 minute. This way, Fitch shampoo penetrates right down to the scalp. Next, add water. Lather 1 minute to wash every trace of dandruff out of your hair. Then rinse 1 minute. All that loosened dandruff goes down the drain. In 3 minutes, with Fitch, 1 rubbing, 1 lathering, 1 rinsing, dandruff's gone. And never forget, gentle Fitch can also leave your hair up to 35% brighter. To get rid of dandruff problems forever, brighten hair too, use Fitch regularly. Get Fitch Dandruff Remover Shampoo today, only 59 cents.
I'll get it, Mr. Reed.
Oh, never mind. I can still walk to my own door. Well?
My name is Paladin. I got your wire.
Wire? What wire?
Well, your name is Jesse Reed.
And what about her?
You and 20 of your men tried to take the town of Perdido below the border in Mexico. And only 5 of you came back, not in very good shape. I see that you're still hobbling on 1 leg.
Yeah, well, come on in.
Thank you.
Now, how do you know so much?
I saw it in the San Francisco papers, and I sent you a card, like this one.
Huh? Have gun will travel. Wire Paladin, San Francisco. But I sent no wire.
Well, I have it right here.
Gotch?
Yes, sir, Mr. Reed.
Did you send this man a wire?
I figured maybe Mr. Paladin could help us, Mr. Reed. At least till he was able to sit a horse again.
Oh. You're a fast gun, huh?
Fast enough.
What do you figure you can do for me?
Dave Enderby's wanted for murder, and he's holed up in an outlaw town in Mexico. And more important, he took your daughter with him, and when you went after her, he ambushed your men and shot you. I guess you'd like to see him again.
But if I couldn't bring him back with 20 men, how do you think he'll do it all alone?
There are all kinds of tactics, Mr. Reed.
Tactics? You one of them ex-army officers?
Among other things.
I know your breed. Got to have action and money.
Which brings us to my fee.
I didn't ask you here. I ain't paying nothing.
For Dave Enderby delivered to you, breathing?
How much?
$1,000.
That gun comes high.
It's a good gun. Crafted to my own specifications.
Let me see it. Now, what do you think of that? I ask a man for his gun and he gives it to me. Why, you overdressed tin soldier, you'd have about as much of a chance with Dave Enderby as a ribbon clerk.
I'll have my gun back, Mr. Reed, or I'll put a hole between your eyes. This Derringer may not look as impressive, but it's just as effective at short range. Thank you. Now, what about Dave Enderby?
A Derringer in your waistcoat. You're a cool one. All right, then. You bring me Enderby alive, and you'll get your 1,000. But nothing on account, only my word.
I don't ask anything more.
Enderby shot his first man when he was 15, in the back. That's where he tried to shoot me, and that's where he'll shoot you if he gets the chance. It's the only way he knows to fight.
I'll remember. What do I do about your daughter?
She went with him of her own free will. Let her stay.
Mr. Reed.
I said let her stay. All I want is Enderby.
I'll get him.
You're a fool, Paladin. You might get in, but you won't get out. The whole Mexican government can't get an outlaw out of Perdido. I couldn't, and you won't.
We'll see. Good day, Mr. Reed.
Welcome to Perdido, senor.
Senor, quite a welcoming committee. Do they always ring bells?
To tell us a stranger is in the pass, it is guarded.
I saw them. They didn't look very friendly.
Not every stranger is a friend, senor.
My name is Paladin.
And mine is O'Brien. I am the alcalde here.
A red-headed Mexican with an Irish name?
In Perdido, what matters is not a man's nationality, but his disposition. If he is, shall we say, simpatico, then he is welcome.
For as long as he can pay.
It is a poor business, senor, that does not make a profit. You have friends here, Senor Paladin?
I'm looking for Senor Enderby. Can you tell me where to find him?
He is usually in the cantina.
Thank you.
Oh, Senor Paladin.
Yes?
I must tell you about our bell. If it rings when one leaves Perdido, that one is always met in the pass. Stay with us, senor, and be comfortable. And when you leave, I hope the bell does not ring for you.
Good day, Senor O'Brien. Hey, what you...
Senor, don't shoot. The knife was not meant for you.
Oh.
That's a fast draw, mister, but you can holster your gun. We only thrown at that circle on the wall beside you. Like this. Well, amigo, I win again.
Your pleasure, senor.
Huh? Oh, tequila.
Si, senor.
You've been thrown at a man, amigo. You'd be dead now.
I do not miss when it is a man.
Double a bet, then?
We'll see, but this time I use your knife.
Hand it over, amigo.
I permit you to use mine.
Hey, senores. There is one law in Perdido. We do not fight each other.
Well, now, I thank you for reminding me. I ain't going to be the one to spoil the fun. Go ahead, amigo. Throw.
Dead center. It was a good
Look
job.
out.
Senor. You tried to cut me in the back.
Just letting you know, I don't mind giving something away, but nobody takes nothing from me. Nothing. Here's your knife, amigo.
Pig.
You'll know better next time.
Enderby.
How'd you know my name?
I had a good description of you, of how you fight. I've come looking for you.
For me?
Mm-hmm. Seems I have to take you back across the border.
That's so? Julio.
That is still against your neck, senor. So don't try anything or you will not leave, eh?
Now, I'll take that gun of yours, mister. You won't be needing it anyway.
No, because I can't shoot you. I don't get paid unless I bring you back breathing.
Who to?
Jesse Reed.
That old vinegaroon's still alive and kicking?
Very much so. And he wants you alive.
What's your name, mister?
Paladin.
You want me to take care of him, Senor Enderby?
Nah, let him go, Julio. He ain't got a chance.
Bueno, senor.
Thank you. You know, I'd like to meet the young lady who caused all this.
Nancy? Sure, why not? Nancy get a real boot out of you. Come on, Mr. Paladin.
Like a season ticket to the ballpark, CBS News admits you to every major event going on. Please note, too, that where CBS News is concerned, the world is the stadium, and the season of excitement knows no end. Regular features like our World News Roundup, broadcast 7 mornings a week on CBS Radio, and its evening counterpart, The World Tonight, heard nightly over most of these same stations, make you spectator to the most spectacular events of our time. They take you right to where the news is happening, let you learn the details from experts who've watched the news develop. Every morning on CBS Radio, join CBS News correspondents on the World News Roundup for reports from the major news centers of the world. Every evening, let The World Tonight take you to the scene of the news for on-the-spot reports and lively interviews with people in the news. No matter what is happening, no matter where it's happening, you'll be well informed if you follow the story on CBS Radio every time.
Excellent coffee, Mrs. Enderby. Served on excellent china in a delightful patio. You must be very happy here.
Tell him, honey.
I am.
I see.
My father wasn't honest with you, Mr. Paladin. All he wanted was to set you against Dave. Did he tell you the way everybody back home talked about Dave?
And all those scrapes he got into? He was forced?
You're raking me with them spurs again.
If you think you're going to turn me against Dave...
He came for me, honey. Your daddy don't even want to see you again.
That's true. He doesn't care if he ever sees me again.
How do you know?
She knows her, old man. Got a hide thick as alligator.
Dave!
You managed to put some lead into that tough hide.
He what?
Now, don't you believe that, honey. I told the boys to let your daddy be. I saw him right away without a scratch.
And your father saw Dave bushwhack him.
Now, honey, don't that prove he'll say anything to split us?
You've got quite a problem, Nancy. Who's the liar? Your husband or your father?
Dave's wild, but he's no murderer.
If I'd done half the things folks say, I'd been dancing at the end of a rope long ago.
There's still time.
Dave, he's trying to make you fight. Don't let him.
He has to fight, or come along with me. He's got my gun, but still he won't fight. He's yellow.
It's not true.
If you had a belly for fighting, you'd have finished off that fellow in the cantina. You'd have finished me. But you couldn't, because we were face to face with you.
Shut up.
You're a rotten little coward. You can only bushwhack men. Stab or shoot him in the back.
Why, you...
He's only knocked out. He'll wake up soon enough.
I wish he'd killed you.
But he didn't. Now...
What are you doing?
Just getting my gun back. And
no, stop.
I'll have to finish him.
No, please.
I haven't a chance of getting out of Perdido alive otherwise.
Don't kill him, don't. I'll do anything you say, please.
Help me get out of Perdido. Come with me through the pass.
All right.
No trouble, no tricks. I have your word.
Yes, you have my word.
All right, let's go.
I'll turn back here. You're almost out of the pass.
A little farther. I can still see the guards.
You're perfectly safe now. I got you out of Perdido.
Nancy, why don't you come back with me?
You're crazy.
You're wrong about your father. He wants you back. You've hurt him, but he loves you. Why not come back with me?
No.
You'd rather stay in Perdido with Enderby?
Yes.
Then I'll have to take you.
Stop it. Let go of the reins.
Don't worry. If he really loves you, he'll come after you. Sounds like he's worked himself free.
And you'll soon be sorry you ever saw Perdido.
You'll have to catch us first. Yeah. Yeah. Come on.
Are we going to ride all night?
The idea is to lose Dave, isn't it? We go on.
Please, can we slow down?
After we cross the Rio Grande.
Oh, please. Can't we stop and rest?
I guess we can. He'll be catching up with us about now. Between the two of us, we've left a clear enough trail.
Between the two of us?
You think I didn't notice you dropping things along the way? If the trail was any longer, you'd have had a problem in modesty. Come on. We'll make camp here and have breakfast.
You wanted him to follow us.
Of course. I don't get paid without him.
Time was when the sedan chair was considered the height of luxury. When you think of all the places you go and all the things you now do by radio, a sedan chair doesn't seem like much of a luxury at all. Tuned to a radio network like the CBS radio network, you can, in a matter of moments, travel to foreign capitals to learn what's happening to individuals or whole nations at a time. Because a network like CBS Radio is made up of many stations, stations like the one you're listening to now, the smartest supper clubs from New York to San Francisco invite you to dance to the music of their big-name bands night after night. Because CBS Radio's vast network facilities extend in every direction, you can laugh with the funniest comedians in Hollywood or on Broadway. Then move on to a serious discussion of space-age problems, and all in the course of an evening. By all means, use that sedan chair if you have one. But if you want to go places fast, take CBS Radio along.
Have some more bacon? No?
You simply used me to bring him out of Perdido.
No. Let's say I accomplished two purposes with one action. To take you back to your father where you belong, and to get Enderby to the gallows where he belongs.
It was more of your lies about my father still warning me, about Dave shooting him.
Dave tried to shoot him in the back, the way he'll try to shoot me, now that he's here.
What do you mean?
He's up there in the rocks behind me, isn't he?
How did you know?
I've been watching your eyes, depending on them to warn me. Now, if you...
No, Dave!
See how he works? If there's a way of crawling around to a man's back, he finds it.
You're wrong. Besides, I don't care how he does it, just so he kills you.
But that last shot might have killed you.
You're crazy. He's my husband. He came after me.
Not because he loves you, but because nobody takes anything away from him.
He doesn't know. He thinks... Dave! Dave, I didn't leave you. He forced me. Come and get him.
You get down. You wasted your breath. He won't come. He won't face a fair fight even for you.
You're wrong.
I'll prove it. All right. Enderby. Here I come. All right, Enderby. You've got a good shot at me now. And so have I at you. You want to finish it? You're welcome to try.
No. No, I give up.
Dave, are you all right?
Listen, Paladin, I'll make a deal with you. It's really her the old man wants, not me. You take her and let me go.
Dave!
What about it, Paladin?
No deal. I'll take you both.
Gotch! Gotch!
Yes, sir, Mr. Reed.
Someone just rode into the yard. You better get on outside there and...
Mr. Paladin.
And Enderby.
Delivered. Breathing.
Well, not for long.
Wait, you can't shoot me. I got a right to a hearing.
Mr. Reed.
Just a minute, Mr. Reed. $1,000 first. I like things orderly. A bank draft will do.
Well, I have it all written out. There's your blood money, bounty hunter. Now get out.
Thank you for sticking to the letter of our agreement. I'll do the same.
You did. I paid you. Hey, give me my gun.
I didn't agree to become an accessory to murder.
You're in cahoots, the two of you. Suckered me for $1,000, gonna ride off laughing.
Not Dave. The law will take care of him.
And you figure to pick up the reward, too.
No. That belongs to Nancy.
Nancy?
Outside. But there's no use bringing her in. You said you never wanted to see her again.
She had the nerve to come back here, did she? I'll give her what for. Nancy! You come here! All right. Look up at me. Come on.
Dad, your leg.
Oh, I'm all right.
Are you sure? How do you feel?
Well, how do you think I feel? With a daughter ain't got no more sense than to stand out here in the sun when she's got a house to go into. Now, go on. You get to your room. You get washed up. You look like you've been in a stampede. Now, go on. Get Nancy, girl.
All right, Dad.
Mr. Paladin. So happy to see you back in San Francisco. All okay.
Hello, hey boy.
Oh, I brought lots of papers to your room, Mr. Paladin. And pretty lady leave letter.
Oh? Well, it's nice to be home.
No one we know of approves of wasting money. In spite of that, however, we Americans are often guilty of wasting our money by the uses we make of our government facilities. Take the operation of the post office, for example. Mostly out of habit, many offices and individuals post outgoing mail at the end of the day. In so doing, they leave post office employees with too little work to do at other times of the day. In addition, we forget to include zone numbers as part of the address. In both ways, we're slowing down the entire system for delivering mail and adding to the cost of our postal operation. The problem is simple enough to solve. Start solving it tomorrow. If you will arrange to post letters and packages earlier in the day and include zone numbers on the return address as well as the outgoing address, you'll help our post office operate more efficiently for you and at less cost, too. Remember, for faster, more economical service, mail early in the day and include zone numbers. Have Gun, Will Travel. Created by Herb Meadow and Sam Rolfe, is produced and directed by Norman McDonnell, and stars John Dehner as Paladin, with Ben Wright as Hayboy. Tonight's story was written by Sam Rolfe and adapted for radio by John Dunkel. Featured in the cast were Paul Dubov, Gene Bates, Joseph Kearns, William Allen, Don Diamond, Howard Culver, and Lillian Byatt. Hugh Douglas speaking. Join us again next week for Have Gun, Will Travel.
Any one of you who tries to put a torch to that building will die in his tracks. Now, who wants to be first? Have Gun, Will Travel. Starring Mr. John Dehner as Paladin. San Francisco, 1875. The Carleton Hotel, headquarters of the man called Paladin. Come in.
Here it is, Mr. Paladin. Whiskey, water, ice. You want something else?
I want you to take this money over to the bank and deposit it for me.
Oh, yes, sir. Oh, great deal of money, Mr. Paladin.
$5,000. Here's a deposit slip.
Yes, sir.
Well?
Oh, all the time I know you, Mr. Paladin, you have money.
Money I earned.
Yes, sir, what? So much money. You buy clothes, you live here, you pay for many things. You ever work and not earn money?
I don't understand you.
Oh, hey, I work and not earn money. Most people do the same thing.
it makes you feel any better, I've often worked and not been paid a dime.
Oh, it makes me feel better.
But I try not to make a habit of it.
Oh, I know. Oh, well, I take this now. Wire for you from Nevada.
Let's see.
You send answer?
Yes. Yes, tell him, have gun, will travel.
If dandruff dulls your hair, leaves your scalp itchy, please listen. You can get rid of annoying dandruff so fast today, no one should suffer any longer. With Fitch Dandruff Remover Shampoo, unsightly dandruff's gone in 3 minutes. It's the quickest, easiest of all leading shampoos. Besides that, using Fitch regularly is guaranteed to keep embarrassing dandruff away. Simply apply in the unique Fitch manner. Before you wet hair, rub in 1 minute. This way, Fitch shampoo penetrates right down to the scalp. Next, add water. Lather 1 minute to wash every trace of dandruff out of your hair. Then rinse 1 minute. All that loosened dandruff goes down the drain. In 3 minutes with Fitch, 1 rubbing, 1 lathering, 1 rinsing, dandruff's gone. And while removing dandruff, Fitch can also brighten hair up to 35%. To get rid of dandruff problems forever, brighten hair too, use Fitch regularly. Get Fitch Dandruff Remover Shampoo today, only 59 cents.
The trip to Nevada was for nothing. When I got there, my employer's problem had been settled. He'd been killed, and his killer had been hanged. So I turned around and started back for San Francisco, and that's how I happened to ride through Wormsville. Not really a town, just a single line of ragged buildings facing the open prairie, but trying to be a town. One of the buildings was a log cabin with a flagpole in front of it. Sitting by the side of the road, tracing figures in the dust with a willow branch, was a young boy. I stopped beside him.
Hello, mister.
Hello, son. Hey, you're going to be late for school.
Ain't going.
Oh? Why not?
Not till they get rid of the school teacher.
What'd she do?
Nothing.
Oh. You don't like her, is that it?
Miss Stanton? I like her fine, but Pa says I can't go.
Why does Pa say that, boy?
On account of Mr. Breck says it to him.
Breck? Who's Mr. Breck?
He owns that big ranch over there. He don't like what Miss Stanton was teaching about Quantrill.
What was Miss Stanton teaching about Quantrill?
She says Quantrill's men were thieves and murderers. Mr. Breck rode with Quantrill in the war. Said he'd burn down the school and ride her out of town if she didn't stop teaching that way.
So I take it Miss Stanton is still teaching that way, huh?
Yep. She's stirring up a fuss. Hardly anybody's going to school now.
Well, it seems to me it's Mr. Breck who's stirring up the fuss. What's your name?
Morse Kaufman, sir.
Morse. My name is Paladin. Can I sit down?
Sure.
How do you feel about all this?
I don't know rightly, Mr. Paladin. Seems Miss Stanton oughtn't to teach things that cause trouble.
Let me ask you something, Morse.
Yes, sir?
1 and 1 make 2. You believe that?
Sure.
Well, supposing I didn't like the number 2. Supposing I just as soon forget it and use 1 and 3 and 4 and so on, but never 2. Then what?
Well, that'd be wrong, Mr. Paladin.
Then maybe it's wrong to think that Miss Stanton or any teacher could do a very good job by ignoring the facts of history, no matter how much they upset some people.
Maybe, but Mr. Breck don't see it that way. He's too mean to think. Everybody does what he says.
Except Miss Stanton.
Except Miss Stanton.
You wish to see me?
Yes. May I speak to you alone, Miss Stanton?
Miss Grubb, will you kindly come up here and sit at my desk? The rest of you go right on with your reading. After you've finished page 18 in McGuffey, then you may work on your slates. This way, young man.
Well?
I'll get right to the point, Miss Stanton. I don't like what you've been teaching about the Jayhawkers.
The Jayhawkers.
Kansas, Missouri patriots that organized to fight for the Union on the border. I hear you've been teaching that they committed a good many vicious and unprincipled acts. Is that true?
Mr. Breck doesn't want me to teach about Quantrill and his atrocities. And now you, whoever you are, don't want me to teach of the Jayhawkers' atrocities, merely because they were on the Union side. Young men, I will teach the truth as it is, and not as you or Mr. Breck would like it to be.
Good for you, Miss Stanton.
What?
I just wanted to see if you were telling both sides of the story.
Who are you, mister?
My name is Paladin. Here's my card.
Well, I don't understand. Who hired you?
No one's hired me.
I still don't understand, Mr. Paladin.
Miss Stanton, is anyone in this town on your side?
No, I'm afraid not. I used to have 18 pupils. You saw the handful in there. Tomorrow there'll be even less. Mr. Paladin, I can't pay you for anything.
Oh, no. I don't want pay. Just to say that this is something I want to do.
You don't know what you're getting into. Breck, all his gunmen.
I've heard about him.
There isn't anyone who'll face up to him.
If this is going to be settled by guns, you have at least one on your side.
Guns? Oh, Mr. Paladin, there must be no fighting. Not over me.
You're a teacher. That makes you very special. Without teachers, every generation would have to start all over again, learning from the beginning. No, Miss Stanton, you're very much worth fighting over. You're a teacher.
Thank you, Mr. Paladin. I needed someone to say that. I really did.
Molly Stanton gave me a list of all of her students and where they lived. She did it with little hope that it would do any good, but with the same kind of determination with which she stood up and spoke the truth in her teaching. I could do no less than make use of the list.
I told you my Susan ain't going back to school until that teacher clears out. Now, we've been all over it.
Then we'll go over it again. Now, where's your pride, Mr. Coldwell? If Breck threatened Susan's life with a gun, you'd be out there with your gun making a fight of it. But when he takes over a piece of her mind, you crawl into a hole.
You get out of here.
I'd be glad to leave if you'll do something about Breck.
I'll do as I see fit. Now get out of my house.
Mr. Caldwell, adults sometimes forget that children are learning all the time. Your Susan learns not only by what you tell her, but by the way you live. What do you suppose she's learning right now?
Get out!
Yes, sir?
Good evening, Morse. Is your father home?
Who is it? Man who was at the school today, Pa. Mr. Paladin.
May I come in, Mr. Kaufman? I'd like to talk to you.
Come on in. So, what do you want to talk about?
The school. I've heard around town that tomorrow Breck's riding in to burn it down.
You want help? Is that it?
Yes. I'm asking the people this involves for that help.
Yeah? How have you been doing?
Oh, poorly. I've been riding 6 hours tonight, talking, arguing. Everyone's afraid of Breck. How about you? Will you help?
If I said no, would you figure it's because I'm scared of Breck?
Why else would you say no?
Might be I figure he's right.
He isn't.
This fight is over Quantrill. What he was, what he done.
Mr. Kaufman, you're wrong when you say this is a fight over Quantrill. It isn't. This is a fight over whether a man named Breck will burn down a school and drive a woman out of the county for teaching. Look, Mr. Kaufman, you hire a teacher, and you see that she has the proper training and the right moral character for the job. Then you have to let her do that job. You hold her back, you tell her what to teach and what not to teach. She ends up teaching nothing.
All right, but that ain't my fight. Jason and them other folks in town don't like me, the way I talk. They make fun of me. If everybody was to make a stand, I'd go along, but I don't see doing their fighting for them.
But this is for yourself.
You have spoken your piece, Mr. Paladin. You've had my answer.
But not once have you mentioned the real reason you won't stand up to Breck.
What do you mean?
You're afraid of him.
Wait. No one calls me a coward and walks away.
Well, you just look me up at the school tomorrow if you want to finish this. Unless you'd rather shoot me in the back right now.
Our cat has 9 lives. She makes that clear with every impulsive leap from sofa to the top of the bookcase. All the same, she can compete with you when it comes to getting places. In no more time than it takes the cat to reach her favorite perch, you can be in Rome or Tokyo or anywhere else exciting things are happening. You do that daily on CBS Radio as network features like our World News Roundup and The World Tonight take you to the scene of the news. For all her 9 lives, our cat can compete with you either where experience is concerned. Vast network facilities make CBS Radio a meeting place for interesting people, real and fictional, whose personal histories enrich your own. Why envy the cat her 9 lives when CBS Radio invites you to share the life experiences of celebrities who visit you on programs like our Mitch Miller Show and invites you to share emotions with the heroes and heroines in our many fine dramatic shows.
The next morning, Molly Stanton appeared at the school 15 minutes before class was scheduled to begin. She tidied her desk, made notes for the day, then stepped out into the yard and rang the bell. But there was no one to ring it for. No students, no parents.
There's our support, Mr. Paladin.
Then we'll meet Breck by ourselves.
Why? What for? What am I fighting about? They're not my children. Those people don't care. Why should I?
Because you do care. You care for the children, your own integrity.
They just want their children here, out from underfoot.
I'm sorry I'm late, Miss Stanton.
Well, you've certainly been a stranger, Susan. Go on now, get to your desk. You have 2 weeks' work to catch up on.
Yes, ma'am.
You see, Miss Stanton? You were wrong. Somebody does care.
Mr. Paladin, look.
I see them.
I'll wait here with you.
No. No, you go on in and run your school.
Well, good luck.
You, Jackson Breck?
That's right. And you're the one who's been siding with that old hen in there. All right, boys. I got enough men to do the job that's got to be done. You can see that, stranger.
I can see.
But you're going to try to stop me?
That's the idea.
You're a fool. Get that gun of his. Now, hold it, Cooley. Ben's easy without his gun.
Leave him alone! Let him go! Oh, Mr. Paladin, Mr. Paladin.
You see all the trouble you went and caused?
You're an animal.
You should have packed your things, teacher. Now they'll just have to burn up with the school. You kid, give me that book.
No. Leave that child alone.
I ain't gonna hurt the kid. I just want the book. Make a good torch. Yeah, you see? Burns pretty good.
Don't do it, Breck.
Oh, I'm gonna do it all right. Burns real nice, don't it? Here, Cooley, toss it inside. Ought to start the whole place off.
You give me my book.
Get away, kid.
Leave her alone, Breck.
What?
It's my daughter. You leave her alone.
Jason, put that rifle away.
Don't nobody make a move. I'll kill the first man who does.
Cooley, move around behind him.
Don't you try it, Cooley. I mean what I say.
You're going to be sorry for this, Jason. Turn on your friends like you are, we'll remember, and you'll be sorry.
Hold it, Frank. Hold up there.
Oh, Walter Kaufman come to join the fun. That's just one more for you to worry about, Jason.
What's going on here? What is a gun for, Jason?
I changed my mind, Kaufman. I ain't with Breck no more.
That's so?
And I'll tell you, just like I told him, one false move from anybody and I fire.
Jason, I got a score to settle.
I told you he'd be on our side, Jason.
I didn't say I was on any side. Cooley, give Paladin back his gun.
What?
Give it to him, Cooley. Give it to him or Jason and I'll start shooting.
Thank you.
Now you've got your gun back, Paladin. You can speak to Breck for all of us.
All right, Breck. No one's holding me now. You've got 2 hands, gun in that holster. You're standing on your own 2 feet. What else do you want? An edge?
Well,
Or maybe this'll help you fight. Oh. You only draw against women. Is that it? Or maybe school teachers, your specialty? Or children? All right, if not you, how about one of your men? You? How about you? Anybody? And get on your horses and get out of here. And Breck, one more thing. Don't try sneaking back some dark night. You wouldn't be very hard to find afterwards.
That's right, Breck. Big man like you wouldn't be hard to find at all. Hey, Jason?
No, there'd be nothing to it. Let's get out of here. Well, it's finished.
Not quite. Paladin, last night you called me a coward.
Yes, I did.
Why?
I wanted you mad enough so you'd think about what I said.
It made me think. That is for sure.
I never thought you were a coward, Mr. Kaufman. I knew you were afraid. I knew what you were afraid of. That you'd fight for Jason here and his friends, and afterwards they'd just laugh at you for being a fool.
And I might have, too, Walter. I was proud about all the wrong things. Like you having an accent and me not. Then when I saw Breck going after Susan, well, maybe that's what helped me get things straight.
I'm glad. Well, now, isn't it time to get the children back to school?
Oh, Mr. Paladin, you're back so soon. Welcome. Oh, you give me back.
How you been, hey boy? Anything happened while I was gone?
Oh, yes, many things happened. Ship blow up in harbor, streetcar break chain and run downhill, man chase wife through the street with butcher knife. Many things happened for you, sir.
Well, I suppose I mean, did anything good happen?
Oh, you let me think, Mr. Paladin. No.
I beg your pardon.
What?
My name is Francis. Has anyone paged my name in the lobby in the last few minutes?
Not since we've been here, Mrs. Francis.
It's Miss.
Oh, I beg your pardon, Miss Francis. Allow me to introduce myself. My name is Paladin.
How do you do?
You're staying here at the hotel?
Why, yes. I registered yesterday.
And, are you staying long?
That depends. I might stay indefinitely if I find San Francisco interesting.
I'm certain that you will find it that way.
Really, Mr. Paladin?
With my help, of course.
How nice.
Shall we say 8 o'clock?
How very nice. Yes. Until then.
Until 8 o'clock.
I'll be looking forward to it.
Hey, boy.
Yes, sir.
You lied.
I lied? Oh, no, Mr. Paladin, I don't lie.
Something very good did happen while I was away.
Here comes Elmer Blurt, world's lowest pressure salesman.
Nobody home, I hope. Oh, gosh, it says salesman keep out.
Hey, come back here.
You wouldn't want to buy a new Rambler American station wagon, would you, mister?
You poor fella. Let me show you how to sell. You got to use high pressure.
Yeah, but...
You got to tell the customer you must buy America's lowest price station wagon, the Rambler American. The small wagon with automatic transmission, the reclining seat, deep coil springs, and handsome American styling.
Is that a fact?
Then you say the Rambler American is America's easiest parking station wagon and can save hundreds of dollars a year on gas and maintenance.
But will that high pressure work?
I'll prove it works. Order me a Rambler American station wagon. Now, how do you like my sales technique?
Well, it's not as good as your neighbor's.
Oh?
No, he just sold himself a Rambler station wagon and a Rambler sedan.
Want a whale of a buy on a used car? See your Rambler dealer right now for a tremendous assortment of select used cars taken in trade on all the new Ramblers. See your Rambler dealer for a select used car. Have gun, will travel. Created by Herb Meadow and Sam Rolfe. He is produced and directed by Norman McDonnell and stars John Dehner as Paladin with Ben Wright as Hayboy. Tonight's story was written by Sam Rolfe and adapted for radio by John Dawson. Featured in the cast were Helen Cleave, Harry Bartell, Richard Perkins, Virginia Gregg, and Joel Davis. Hugh Douglas speaking. Join us again next week for Have Gun, Will Travel.